Hey, hi everyone, and happy Thursday. We are on the road with Floyd County Conservation somewhere in Floyd County. We're actually in the northeast part of the county at a new area. We are at the Fix Wildlife area. So let me turn you around here. So the Fix Wildlife area is actually a preserve. And it's an area that recently has undergone some management, and that we came in with some equipment and removed a lot of underbrush and trees. So it's interesting to see how this area is recovering or changing since that management occurred this winter. Honestly, I've only ever been here once before when I was taking some pictures for our website, and I will tell you that you could not visually see very far into this area. So you're able to see a lot more. It's a lot more opened up, and it's interesting to see how the plants will adapt to that, or what will pop up that we haven't seen before. So as we get out, you can see that there are some phlox here. And as we walk down the driveway, so to speak, you'll see that this first area, there's a lot of bluebells that are blooming, and there's also a lot of ostrich fern. And the ostrich fern is obviously this here that's popping up. So this is all kind of concentrated in this one area. So it'll be interesting to see how the bluebells spread now that the area is opened up a little bit. There are no trails established here at Fix Wildlife. Like I said, this is a refuge, and when I first came here, and I don't know if you could hear it now as we walk, there is a lot of birds here, a lot of different birds. I've heard them singing as well as flying past me. I've seen some ovenbirds, I've heard some wrens, I've also heard some birds that I'm not as familiar with, that I'm going to have to go and refresh myself with those songs. So it's definitely been interesting. This would be a great place for birders to be able to come out and see, especially during the migration period. There's a lot of violets as we look around. There's kind of two different shades of purples that I've seen, and a lot of the yellow violets, which is neat. It's kind of interesting to be walking through here, as there's a lot of debris down on the ground, but even that will be recycled by the decomposed, composted, and will become nutrients for the existing plants. So it's not like it's waste laying around there. It's just waiting to be composted over time. You can see here that the canopy has been opened a lot by the trees that have been removed. So there'll be a lot of plant growth. There's another little pocket of bluebells in front of me. There's a lot of the jack-in-the-pulpits that I've seen around. So that's kind of neat. You can kind of hear the birds. There's the yellow violets. And there's a really big jack-in-the-pulpit kind of hiding over on this side. So, and it's just a gorgeous day to be outside. This morning when we came to work, it was so dreary and still sprinkling a little bit, but as soon as those clouds have gone away, that sun came up. It's really warmed up, and definitely a nice day to get outside. So I hope you're taking advantage of these nice days, because I hear with the forecast we have some rain again on the way this weekend. So it's a nice day to get outside. There's a lot of the jack-in-the-pulpits that are seeming to be just popping up. I'll take you back here. a lot of plants, and I'm sure more of them will be coming now that there's sunlight getting to the bottom now, but a lot of gooseberry bushes, especially towards what would be the south portion of the property. I saw there is a little stream here that we will go up to. You can hear a mourning dove in the background, but you can see the little stream that's going there. The gooseberry bushes right here. You can see the leaves on the gooseberry bush kind of look like the foot of the goose, the webbing with kind of the three toes. And these ones, I don't see any of the flowers of, like we saw, right here. You can see the flowers hanging down, and remember those will be a really sour berry. When I'm explaining it to the kids on a field trip, I tell them it's more sour than an extreme Sour Patch Kid. And that always seems to get their attention on just exactly what the flavor's like. So you can see a lot of these trees have already been down as they're covered with the moss and lichen. Like I said, being recycled, being composted by the decomposers, so to become nutrients for the trees and the new trees to come. So like I said, it'll be interesting to see how this wood changes. You can kind of see just through the trees there is where my vehicle is. And a year ago when I had been here, you would not be able to see me standing here from the road. So we've really opened this area up. There were some deer that I saw sneaking along as I was walking through, and all of the birds that were singing. So this is a nice refuge area for them to be able to survive, have their young. So who's with me today as we tour the Fix Wildlife Area? In case you're wondering, we are north of Caldwell. Idea of the location, we're on 130th Street, north of Caldwell. So that's where I am. You can see lots of jack-in-the-pulpits. I'm trying to look for mushrooms. I am not a mushroom expert by any stretch, but haven't had much success looking around. So if anyone's been out mushroom hunting, I heard that they've been having some success. I know my coworkers have had some success, and with these rains overnight last night and over the weekend, I'm sure that there'll be more popping up. So we can cross another area off our list of the 33 areas that are managed by Floyd County Conservation. So once again, this is the Fix Wildlife Area. That is a refuge in northeast Floyd County. Oh, one thing I was going to mention that I haven't got to say this spring yet. As you're out in the woods, a lot of times on field trips, the students come and they will have their hoods up, or they will have their hats on in order to protect themselves from ticks. Just wanted to clear that up, that ticks are not in the trees parachuting down to land on your heads. They are actually in the grasses and the plants that you walk by. They do what's called questing, in which they will kind of stick out their front legs And then when something walks by, they just kind of grab on and hitch a ride. So if you are in the woods, don't feel like you have to cover your head in order to protect yourselves from ticks. They're actually crawling up from the grasses and the bushes that you are brushing against. They typically do not attach to their host for about 24 hours. So if you feel like you've been in an area where there's ticks, you've got some time to look for them and remove them before they become attached. So just something to be aware of. Like I said, just be aware, don't panic, and those kind of things. So we are almost back to the start. We just made kind of a small loop. Fix Wildlife Area is not a large area that Floyd County manages, but it's one that we have been working on recently, and so it's interesting to get a view of it this spring, and then we can come back in future years to see what it looks like as it matures and as it heals, so to speak, and recovers from the management that we did. So hope you guys have a great weekend. I will see you all on Monday. We will be on the road next week, weather permitting, as well as Doshonic Recreation Area Tuesday. And lots of things to look forward to as the weather gets nice and we're able to enjoy the outdoors. So have a great weekend. I will see you all next week. Be safe and bye.